Hi, Shingi. It's great to see you, and thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you for getting me involved.
I'm interested in where you're currently working. So where are you currently working?
So I'm currently working for Hampshire County Council. So I work within the IBC, which is the Integrated Business Center.
And what does that involve?
So they are a shared service partnership. Um, so they actually work with a variety of different other councils. So that include some London boroughs, so London, Hammersmith and Fulham, Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, Westminster. So that's the team that I currently work for. But they also have other teams like the Hampshire Fire and Rescue Service as well. So they have quite a few partners.
And was that your first job role since graduating?
It's not my first job, but it is kind of like the first role that I've been involved in that includes HR, which is kind of like what I studied. So when I left uni, I kind of like worked for a charity. So I was doing research for them for a while. So I was kind of like involved in doing research for adult carers. So it was just basically investigating kind of like what resources that they need or they could be provided to basically help them care for their families. So that's kind of like what I did. And I worked part-time for O2 during that time as well. And then I then moved to the council in 2018.
Yes, so you left Chichester 4 years ago?
Yes, in 2017.
2017. Gosh. What are your best memories of Chichester and the business school?
My best memories is the seminars. Um, I remember thinking to myself, how am I going to handle myself when I go to uni? Because uni is more of a personal study. So I didn't think I had the skills to kind of like manage my time, be able to go to lessons on time. But having those seminars and having that timetable, having seminars was actually quite useful. It also meant that I had uh, a more interaction with the actual lectures because there weren't too many people in the class, which was quite useful. And it was uh, one of the things that I enjoyed the most.
That's great. That's great to hear it. So your course was business and HR, but I seem to recall you didn't go to university to do HR. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. So I was going to do straight business studies, but while I was studying, I found out that I could actually change my course in my second year, and HR was one of the kind of like area that interested me the most. And I had conversations with other students who were above me, um, and they basically helped me go through what was available and what I can do to change my course. So I ended up changing it to business and HR so that I have kind of an area of specialization, which was HR.
I don't think you did a placement year or 10-week placement, but I remember you did your management report on the university on diversity and inclusivity. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, with the placement, that's one of my regrets that I didn't actually do one. I wish I did one because that would have been useful in terms of gaining experience. Because when I did try to start getting jobs, it was quite difficult because I didn't have that experience. So I think doing that placement would have been quite useful. And I do have friends from uni that did placements and um, they found it a little bit easier to get a job because they had that experience. So in terms of the project, yeah, so what I wanted to do was to find out what students think in terms of diversity, so what their experience is, and to kind of like capture what they've learned and sort of how they've been using that information in their uni life. So that was what my research focused on.
Thank you. What about other aspects of your uni experience, Shingi? Because obviously, I don't think you were from the local area, were you?
No, I was outside of Chichester. It was quite fun. I made friends quite easily. Um, the, the other good thing as well is that the proximity of Chichester. You can go to Portsmouth, Brighton, and it's easy to travel to all the other areas around the area. So it's actually quite easy in terms of nightlife if you do want to go out, and you've got the surrounding areas to visit as well. So in terms of personal life, it was quite good.
So what would you like to say to prospective students thinking of studying business and HR at the business school?
I would say that if you are choosing Chichester, you will be choosing it based on experience. I do understand that people want to go to big uni to kind of like experience that student life. But the main thing you want to do is you want to choose an institution that is going to help you learn the knowledge that you need, and they're going to support you. And that's what University of Chichester does. I remember from doing the seminars, it means that you are going to interact with the lectures a lot more. So you get personalized feedback a lot more. Because I remember even doing my management project, I was able to have meetings with you a lot of, well, I was able to have a lot of meetings with you because of that. So that is a big plus.
I remember you worked throughout your degree, didn't you, Shingi?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. The unit itself do offer work to students as well, so which is quite good. But I worked just in Southampton, which wasn't too far, so I could go back home on the weekends and then do work. And I felt supported doing that as well.
Thank you. And just finally, in terms of your own career, because obviously you're now in Hampshire County Council, where do you see yourself going in your career in the next couple of years?
So I'm due to complete my CIPD this coming month. So I believe I should be done by June or July. So I'm basically looking to go into something a little bit more exciting. So at the moment, I kind of have two options. It's either I go into learning and development or performance and rewards, which is what kind of like my I've been kind of like been focusing on. Because while I'm working in the council, they've allowed me to be involved in various projects. And one of the ones that I'm currently involved in is basically improving the VP process for the team, because it's not consistent across the current teams that are there. So I'm working to basically improve that. So that's kind of giving me experience, and it's been quite interesting. So that may be something that I might look to go into.
Well, it's really good to hear that it sounds like you're going to make your career in HR.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's been a big shift for me. I went to uni to do business studies, and now I've ended up in HR, which is quite interesting. It's been a journey.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's really good to talk to you, Shingi, and I'm sure prospective students will appreciate you giving your time to share your insights. So thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you for your time.